Welcome to Millionaire, the channel where, together as tweens, we figure out everything related to personal finance and prudent investing.
Without understanding how debt works, it'll be almost impossible to reach financial success. In very simple terms, debt is something that one person owes another. But the more we get into it, it can get confusing. At least it did to me at the beginning. Debt doesn't need to be just money. It can be things like time and gratitude. Even companies and countries can owe debt to each other, so it's not always person to person. If you would like to know more, please check out the link in the description. This is where I started. Anyway, on this channel, we only talk about finance and try to keep it simple. So we'll assume for now, debt is money that we owe someone else or to the bank. When it comes to the topic of debt, not all debt are created equal. Yes, there is good debt and bad debt. In fact, most wealthy people have millions of dollars in debt. Surprised? Let's find out how. See this image. The part here is how much money the company Apple has in cash, like our money in the bank, $40 billion. The green part is how much money Apple has borrowed. It is the debt it owes. That is $120 billion. Now, why would a company that already has $40 billion go and borrow $120 billion? This is where the concept of good debt comes in. And now is a good time to learn the difference between good debt and bad debt. Let's say we want to buy a new car and it costs $40,000. Since we don't have that much money, we take a car loan for $30,000. We will pay that back in the next 7 years. First of all, the moment we take the car out of the dealer's lot, its value reduces by $2,000. Over the next 7 years, as we keep paying down the debt, the value of the car also keeps coming down. At the end of the 7 years, the car is worth less, and what we paid for it is much more. This is a classic example of bad debt. Bad debt involves borrowing money to purchase depreciating stuff, or those only for the purpose of consumption. People who have more liabilities that they think are assets tend to have more bad debt. A car bought on a loan is a liability, not an asset. Let's say we want to buy a rental property, like we've seen in an earlier video. We borrow $150,000 from the bank that we pay back in 30 years. However, in those 30 years, 3 things happen. We pay back the debt that we owe from the rent we collect. We also get cash flow every month, and the value of the house appreciates over time to make us a lot of money at the end. This is an example of good debt, where someone else pays down what we owe, and in the process, we end up owning an asset that has appreciated in value. So here are the key differences. Good debt increases your net worth, moves you towards your financial goals, builds assets, may be paid down by someone else, has tax advantages. More examples of good debt are things like getting a loan to buy a business, or let's say you want to become a better photographer, the loan to buy new equipment for your studio. If you want to become a real estate agent, the loan to take the realtor education. All these check most of the boxes above and hence are considered good debt. Bad debt decreases your net worth, moves us away from our financial goals, builds liabilities, we pay it down, does not have tax advantages. Most material things such as cars, luxury items, expensive vacations that we buy on a credit card or a loan, payday loans, etc. These check most of the boxes above and are considered bad debt. Now, not all debt can be easily classified into good debt and bad debt. I will give you 2 examples where there are competing opinions in the financial community, so I will let you decide for yourself. First, buying a house for yourself on a large mortgage loan. Second, a college education on a large student loan. Are these assets or liabilities? Do they make you reach your goals or move you away from your goals? In a place like Texas, would you buy a house for yourself with a $500,000 mortgage, or buy 5 rental properties for the same money? Would you take on a college loan when you can get all kinds of learning content online mostly for free? All these are questions you can ask yourself and come up with your own answer. Good debt gives leverage and is the building block of wealth. I will do more on this topic at a later time, but for now, remember, a solid plan to make, save, and invest money will help any millionaire dream come true.